Hey guys, it's Robyn, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. Today I have got warm reviews of all 25 Bring Back My Bar scents. So these are going to be going live on July 1st and they're going to be available all the way through August 15th, I believe it is, while supplies last. So there are a whole assortment of scents to choose from. So I know 25 all at once sounds like a lot, and it is. So I have gone through and warmed all of these so I can let you know how they performed in my home and let you know if the scent changed on warm at all and all of that good stuff. So you might decide what you might want to order and what you might want to skip. So again, as always, these are just my opinions and my house. I do encourage you to watch other videos as well, just because everyone else has different homes, different climates, different noses, all of that good stuff. So these are just going to be my opinions on the 25 scents. And please excuse me, I am just recovering from a very bad cold. So I am still a little bit nasal sounding and it just is what it is. So I wanted to get this up before the 1st of the month. So with no further ado, here we go. So I have divided my bars into 4 categories here. Now within each category, they're no particular order, but the 4 categories are bars that I loved and will be clubbing, bars that I really liked and would probably repurchase. The 3rd category is bars that I thought were fine, I liked warming them, but I probably wouldn't repurchase them. And then the last category is bars that either I did not care for, or they just were not my style, not for me, or they didn't perform well enough for me to recommend. We are going to start with the club category. So my club will be growing by 6 bars. I will have to make some cuts to my existing club as well to accommodate these. And again, these 6 are in no particular order, but these are the 6 that I loved the most. The first one is pistachio ice cream. This is one that I loved on cold as well. It is a nutty pistachio scent. There's a lot of sweet vanilla here. It is a sweet scent. It does not have that kind of like almond extract amaretto tone that sometimes I feel like pistachio scents can have. This does have more of like a pistachio note, and it's sweeter. I really liked this. I liked this a lot. I did the full bar in my open layout. So the performance on pistachio ice cream, despite the scent being top notch, out of this world good, the throw was about a light medium in my open layout, and the longevity was quite poor, to be honest. I would say less than 8 hours. So while I loved it and while I will club it, I would say this is probably better for smaller spaces. If you have a very large, hard to scent space, I would skip it. Use it in smaller spaces only. And yeah, I hope this one ages well. I'm not sure how it ages. It's new to me. But I loved it enough to forgive it for that. So pistachio ice cream, loved it. It's going in my club. But if you need a strong scent, I wouldn't recommend it. Very, very good though. Next up here, we have marshmallow mint. This is an old bar I have. The new one from the kit I've saved because it's a brand new pour. So this one's an old one. But this one has like vanilla mint and like an amber note. Very little amber here. Almost none. Just enough to give it some staying power, really. So with this one, I did 4 cubes in my bedroom, 2 in each warmer. This one is getting quite discolored because it's older. It's still fine. It ages very well. So if you do want to stock up on this one, it does well. And this one is just so pleasant to warm. It is just, you walk in, and especially since I've been so sick, it's just when you walk in and it's just kind of like soothing, soft, creamy mint, marshmallowy sweet. And this is a marshmallowy sweet mint. It's not just like vanilla candy cane. It is like marshmallow mint. It is so good and really nice. Now with 4 cubes in the bedroom, it was about a medium strength, went a full 24 hours. It was quite nice. So this is one I'm excited to put in my club. I've always loved marshmallow mint and I'm excited to be able to club it now. So that is one I strongly recommend if you like mint scents, or if you just want something that's kind of a nice year-round, soft, smooth, creamy mint scent with a lot of sweetness to it. Marshmallow mint's a very, very good one. I think pretty much everyone should probably try that one. Again, I don't know that I would recommend that for large spaces. I would say smaller spaces and probably use more wax than usual. But again, it's worth making it work because that is a really good one. The next one we have here is Central Park Pralines, going straight into my club as well. This one I did the full bar in my open layout today actually. It's still going. This one on cold is a spicy, heavy brown sugar bakery scent. On warm, it reminds me a lot of another scent that we've had recently. It reminds me of a couple actually. You get a definite nuttiness, like a pecan nuttiness. And almost, not maple, but like a dark caramel, pecans, and like a hint of cinnamon spice. Not a whole lot of spice here. The spice does kind of smooth out on warm. You get more spice on cold. Did the full bar. I would say 6 or 7 out of 10 scent throw. It's a very nice solid medium in my open layout. Very respectable. And longevity, this one is still going, but I remember this one doing a full 24 hours quite nicely when I've had it in the past. And I think it's on pace to do that again. This one does seem like a nice kind of average performer, a solid medium strength, and about an average duration. So Central Park Pralines, I really like this one. I think this was one that if you're a bakery fan is worth picking up for sure. Who would not like this? If you don't like bakery scents, if you don't like caramel scents, probably skip this one. But this one reminds me a lot also of Glazed Almond Dreams from the Disney collection last year. That one on warm had more spice. This one has less spice on warm. Excuse me. And it also reminds me a little bit of Gingerbread Pecan Waffles. That was a new release last fall. I think it'll be back this September. This reminds me a lot of that as well. So if you're missing Gingerbread Pecan Waffles, Central Park Pralines is quite similar. That one had almost like a maple pancake note a little bit that this one does not have. So if you're opposed to maple, Central Park Pralines might be a little bit better for you. I personally love it. It will be going in my club, and I'm gonna have to try it against Glazed Almond Dreams to see which one I keep, because this one is not licensed, so it's $1 cheaper, which I appreciate. And so I think I'll probably go with this one. But Central Park Pralines, if you're a bakery fan, definitely worth picking up. The next one we have here is Cranberry Pumpkin Spice. This one is like a classic traditional pumpkin spice scent. I don't really get a lot of cranberry on warm on this. What I get is a very classic traditional pumpkin spice with a hint of sweetness, but not like a bakery sweetness, like just a sweetness, like almost like a sugar. But I think that is the cranberry playing in here. It's lovely. It's so good. This one is not terribly strong. It's like a 5 out of 10, like a just barely a medium strength. And longevity, like 12 to 15, 16 hours. It doesn't go like a full 24 hours, but it will go like a morning to night kind of situation. I really like this one. This is one I will be putting in my club. It's very fall, like very specifically fall, so it's kind of weird to warm it this time of year. But I do really enjoy this one. So Cranberry Pumpkin Spice, if you're a fan of classic traditional fall scents, it's worth picking up. Performance is kind of okay. I do think it does okay in my open layout. So if you have a similar sized open layout or like a regular, large space, but not like enormous space, I think it will do fine. That is Cranberry Pumpkin Spice. The next one here, Apple and Oats. This one is apple oats in like a brown sugar buttery note. It smells like a streusel topping, like apple muffins with streusel topping. It is so good, so sweet. You do have to be okay with sweet. If you don't like sweet scents, skip Apple and Oats. People have asked if this is similar to Cozy Kitchen. Cozy Kitchen, for me, had something a little off about it. I didn't love Cozy Kitchen by itself. Apple and Oats I do enjoy by itself and as a mixer. This one goes really well with all kinds of different bakery scents. So Apple and Oats, this one is a quite strong performer, very open layout worthy, even for the larger open layouts, I would say. And like 24 hours longevity, so nice solid longevity, but stronger than average. So overall, the performance is better than average because it's a bit stronger than most. So Apple and Oats, this one's a winner. One of the better performers of this bunch, in my opinion, in my house. So this one is one that I would recommend if you have a harder to scent space, as long as you like bakery scents. This is a delicious baked apple with lots of brown sugar streusel topping. So good. That one I am so glad to have in my club finally. Next up here is a surprise one. This one is one that didn't really even register on my radar as one that I really loved on cold. But on warm, this is beautiful. Rosemary Mint. This one is just rosemary and mint. And I want to say tea tree. It is fantastic. And I don't know if it's just because I'm sick, but it is so lovely on the sinuses. This is nice. This is just like a spa. This smells like a spa, straight up spa. The tea tree here is not overpowering. I just really like this. I'm getting the rosemary, I'm getting the mint. It's a nice clean mint. This is the only one of the bars that I had some left of that I've actually gone in and melted again already because I just couldn't get enough. So both times I've done 2 cubes in my bedroom, 2 cubes one time, 2 cubes another time, and that was a nice medium. I wouldn't say it's crazy long lasting. I would say 12 to 18 hours, somewhere in there, not 24. So less long lasting than average, but a good solid medium. And I just really like it. It's so soothing, so relaxing. I think you could warm this any time of year. It's great for just if you are stressed, if you want something kind of relaxing. It's also really nice if you're feeling under the weather. It's kind of soothing in that way. It's not going to cure anything, but it does feel nice on a stuffy nose. I think if you had a headache as well, this might be kind of soothing as well. So this is actually going to be a bar that I throw in my club to have on hand for when we're under the weather, is what I'm going to be doing with this one. I don't typically love tea tree, rosemary, mint. I don't dislike it, but it's not one that I would like seek out usually. But this one is it's nicely done. I really like this. Very, very good. Rosemary mint. If this is one that you were kind of thinking of skipping because it sounded boring, give this one a shot and stick it aside for if you're not feeling well. This is a really nice one. Okay, the next pile here is ones that I'm not going to be clubbing, but I quite enjoyed warming and I would probably pick them up again or would recommend people try them. The first one we have here is Ace. Now this one had all kinds of crazy stuff in it. It had like chocolate, lavender, amber, I can't remember what else. Tangerine, mandarin. Yeah, there's like an orange note here. This is kind of a nice men's cologne scent. This on warm was a little masculine, but something about the dark chocolate and the lavender in here I really liked. It was kind of like a nice grounded, soothing type cologne. A little bit different. I liked it. I did 2 cubes in the bedroom, just 2 cubes, and that was a nice 4 to 10 strength, like almost medium. I think I could have used a bit more and made it stronger, but I didn't really want this to be a strong scent. This is one thing I would say. I wouldn't want this to be like slap you in the face strong. So I kind of liked that it was just kind of like a 4 to 10. You walked in, you could smell it, it was nice, but it wasn't like intense and overpowering. I enjoyed this one though. It did go for a full day. I quite enjoyed it. Performance was decent. I think you could do this in an open layout if you wanted to. But for me, I thought it was nice in bedrooms. I quite enjoyed it. And I typically am not a person who melts a lot of masculine scents at all. And this one is one of those. It's kind of like a cologne type scent. But I would consider picking up another bar of this. I quite like it. So there is that one. And again, that dark chocolate note and the lavender really make this a bit different and really quite likable. So there's Ace. The next one we have here is Cactus Flower Lime. This one I did 1 cube in a bathroom. This one had lime, maybe a bit of mint, green tea. It is a little bitter, and this one is kind of what you smell is what you get. Like this one did not change on warm. It was shorter lasting than I expected. I did think it would go for longer. It was a little less than 24 hours. But a nice solid medium plus in intensity. Like the 1 cube in the bathroom did like a 7 out of 10 strength. So quite good there for strength. Longevity wasn't quite as long as I expected. But it's a sharp, tart, verging on bitter lime green tea scent. Very spa. Yeah, smells like a hotel spa in like 2010. Because green tea was really big around that time. And this kind of has like that kind of green tea tone, like a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of like sharpness to it, but not in like an unpleasant way. I actually quite liked this. This is one I would pick up again, and I would recommend as long as you like those kind of green tea, spa-like, refreshing type scents, and you're not expecting it to be sweet, because it's not sweet. I also wouldn't say it's floral. So it does have the word flower in the title. If you're afraid of florals, don't be afraid of this. It is not a floral scent at all. Very pleasant. So Cactus Flower Lime. Nice and fresh and green, perfect for summer. The next one we have here is Fiji Flower. This one I've tried in laundry, and I think I did have a bar of this when I first joined Scentsy, but I don't remember it well. I did 1 cube in our bathroom, 1 cube in the laundry room. And this one has apple in it, as well as like some flower notes. The apple in here is just gorgeous. This was nice and strong. Again, 7, 8 out of 10 strength. Filled those rooms quite nicely. Went a full 24 hours. I thought it might go longer. It did not. But this was very pleasant. Like, very nice. I actually ended up liking this in wax more than I expected to, and I would repurchase this. So that was Fiji Flower. Yeah, this is a good one. This one I do think would be open layout worthy in a large space. Nice and strong. Now I do think floral fans are gonna love this one. If you're not a fan of floral scents, but you like apple, I would say give this one a try anyways, because the apple is quite apparent. There is a good dose of apple here. And the floral here is not, it's not some of the florals that sometimes people struggle with. So I think most people should give this a try as long as you're okay with a fruity floral. That is quite appealing. So Fiji Flower. The next one we have here is Candy Dandy. Now this one is tough because I really, really, really love the scent here. It's a little bit different. It's sweet. It's a little kid friendly. But their performance is just not here. So this one we did 2 cubes in my daughter's room. Her room is kind of a standard sized kid's room. And it was light. Like, not even light medium. Light. Like, light to very light. Even at peak, like 3 hours into the warm with this one, it was like about the strength a scent would be in her room when I take the wax out. So it was like so light that it was almost like a wax would be when I'm ready to remove it. It was extremely light. Now the scent itself is very pleasant. It is a slight like lemon drop, lemon candy type scent. It's got mango in the notes. I don't really get mango. I get like a creamy candy, lemon drop, fruity candy type scent. It's very pleasant. I really like it. She really liked it too, but the performance is very, very light. So I would say if you do give this one a try, it's worth a try, but only for a very small room. And I would recommend doubling your wax. I usually use 2 cubes in her room. I think this one would need 4. And I don't typically like to do that in a smaller room. There is Candy Dandy. I'm gonna try to get through these because my voice is giving out on me and I'm gonna have to speed it up here. Next up here are ones that I would recommend and really quite liked and would repurchase. Tahitian Black Orchid. This one was one of my favorites of the pack on cold. I have warmed this before and I was reminded upon warming this again about how it is on the lighter side. The performance is not fantastic here. I did this in my bedroom, 4 cubes, so I doubled my wax. And it wasn't as strong as I would expect it to be for doubling my wax. It was about between a 4 and a 5 out of 10. Like it got too close to a medium strength with doubling my wax. And it lasted a full 24 hours quite nicely. You could definitely smell it the whole time. But with doubling my wax, I expect quite a bit stronger, and I would expect 2 days if I'm doubling my wax. And I didn't get it with this one, but it's beautiful. You get this kind of dark, rich plum, these kind of deep woody notes, this beautiful smooth coconut milk. It's absolutely gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. And for that reason, it's still in my ones that I would repurchase pile. Tahitian Black Orchid, I really love it. I would not recommend this for large spaces at all. Bedrooms only, and double your wax. If that's not something you're willing to do, skip this one. It's just not going to perform. But if that sounds, it's so pretty. There's nothing really like it. Like it's a little bit different. That's why I like it. There's nothing really quite like this. That deep plum, the coconut milk, and the woodsy base. It's really, really different and really, really beautiful. It does lend itself well to bedrooms, so it makes sense to melt it in a bedroom. But if performance is key for you, this would be one probably to skip. That said, if you want to add something a little bit different to your order that you haven't tried before, this one, if you want to melt in bedrooms, this is one I would recommend strongly. Tahitian Black Orchid. Another one here that I would repurchase with a caveat. Winter Wonderland. Did the full bar in my open layout, and it was not super strong. Now this was beautiful. The notes just have mint, but this one smells like a sweet mint, like a hint of pine tree, way, way far in the back maybe, but it is a sweet, complex scent. I love the scent. If you smell the scent whiteout, it's a dead ringer for that. A little bit stronger. So this one did perform better for me than whiteout does. Now I did the full bar in my open layout. I don't know that this is open layout worthy is the trouble. It was maybe a 5 out of 10, which is okay in my open layout, but it only stayed that way for a few hours. And by like 5 to 7 hours, it was done. Like it was not smellable, it was gone. So Winter Wonderland, as much as I liked it, it was very short-lived, and I think it needs smaller spaces. So I will give this one another try. I'll get another bar. I will try it in a bedroom, and if it performs reasonably well in a bedroom, I will consider clubbing this. But if it doesn't, I won't get any more. It's very, very, very pleasant. As far as like scents go, this one was actually kind of nice even in the summer because it doesn't smell Christmassy. It just smells cool and crisp and clean and a little bit sweet. Like it doesn't scream winter necessarily to my nose. So I really enjoyed it even for summer. But for me, performance was an issue. So I think small spaces only if you try Winter Wonderland, but I think it is worth trying. It's a little bit different and it's very, very lovely as far as scent goes. So there is Winter Wonderland. Finally, in the repurchase category, we have Prickly Pear and Agave. This had been a catalog bar for a long time. I know I like this one. I've had it quite a bit before. I did 2 cubes in my daughter's room, and she really liked this one too. Now, this one is a fantastic stellar performer. Now, when you see Prickly Pear and Agave, you might think this is going to be a fruity, sweet bar. It's not fruity, it's not sweet, it's green. It's clean, it's cool. Yeah, it's got a slight bitterness to it, but in like a cool, crisp way. It's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, this is such a good one. Oh, I really do love this one. I will stock up on this one, grab a few bars. Prickly Pear and Agave. So in my daughter's room, this is on the end of day 2 now. Doing great. Still doing great. It's probably going to go for 3 or 4 days. It's doing fantastic. Yesterday at peak, it was like a strong scent in there. It's down to like a medium plus now on the 2nd day. It's doing fabulous. Performance-wise on this one has always been good. I've always gotten at least 2 days out of it. It's nice and strong. I think you could easily do this in an open layout. It would suit an open layout. It's lovely for bedrooms as well. It is a summer-friendly scent, so if you're looking for a scent for the hottest days, Prickly Pear and Agave is well worth picking up. This is a very, very good scent for this time of year right now. So Prickly Pear and Agave. All right, the next stack of bars here are ones that I enjoyed melting and I liked. I'm glad I got to melt them. And if they're ones that sound good to you, I would recommend trying. These are just ones that I wouldn't get more of personally, but I enjoyed trying them. The first one in this category is Strawberry Taffy. I quite enjoy this. This is a strawberry taffy scent. It smells exactly like what you'd expect it to smell like, strawberry taffy. Did 2 cubes of this in my daughter's bedroom, and it was a good solid medium. This one, compared to Candy Dandy, Strawberry Taffy performs much better for strength. Longevity was about average at about 24 hours, where Candy Dandy was very short. So if you're looking for performance out of those 2 candy scents, I would go with Strawberry Taffy. I personally prefer the scent of Candy Dandy more, but this is very pleasant too. If you like a kind of creamy or milky note in your strawberry scents, something like Strawberry Swirl from back in the day, or Strawberries and Cream from the recent spring scent of the month, this has a little bit of that, but not to the same degree. Like, it doesn't go to milky territory, it goes to creamy territory. It doesn't go to dairy, if that makes sense. It's creamy without being dairy. So I think it's quite pleasant. Not one I think I need more of, but quite enjoyable. So there's Strawberry Taffy. Next one here is one that slid down in my opinion. This was Exotic Vanilla. It was one of my favorites on cold. I did 3 cubes of this in my bedroom, 2 in one warmer, 1 in the other. This one has like a perfumery, oh, it's so pretty on cold. Perfumery type vanilla, sandalwood, orchid. It's so beautiful. This has almost like a slight touch of patchouli somewhere in there maybe as well, just like a slight touch. This one on warm almost immediately went to like a Play-Doh type vanilla to my nose. I don't know what happened here. I still got the pretty sandalwood. The sandalwood was beautiful. I loved it. The vanilla orchid was there. I loved that too. But the vanilla note here specifically went Play-Doh to my nose. Yeah, it's beautiful here on cold, but on warm, within a couple hours, it was Play-Doh on me. Now it did go about 36 hours, like it went longer than average. And the strength was fine, like a good solid medium in my bedroom. But I wouldn't get it again just because of that Play-Doh note in the underlying undertone there. So yeah, I'm glad I got to try it. I like elements of it. The performance was decent. But for me, it was just not, it just wasn't one I would get more of because of that Play-Doh note. So that is Exotic Vanilla. Really wish it had not done that because I loved it on cold. Next one we have here, this was one of the best performers of the bunch. This was Grape Vine. I did 2 cubes in my office of this one. This one is like grape Cabernet. Yeah, this one has like it's like a bright, saturated grape scent with a like almost like a dark wood, mahogany or cedar wood type base. It's very nice, very rich. So I did this in my office. This went for like 5 days. Like this went for ages. It was one of the only things I did in my office because it would not end. So Grape Vine, fantastic performer. I would say like 8 out of 10 strength, strong to begin with. And even after like 5 days when I walked in there, I could still smell this. So I eventually did take it out, but it went forever. So Grape Vine, if you're looking for a scent to fill a large open layout or a hard to scent space, I would recommend Grape Vine. The scent itself, very pleasant. Dark, rich, grapey, a little bit of woodsiness. The higher pitched grape tones did mellow down over time. And it was left more with like a rich, earthy, fruity scent with quite a bit of a woodsy tone. That was what it ended up as, but very pleasant. I actually liked this much more than I thought I would. It's not a scent I would reach for often or all the time, so I won't get more. But I strongly recommend this one. If you have a hard to scent space, I like this one a lot better than I thought I would. This one did impress me as far as performance and the scent itself. So Grape Vine, definitely a good one. Not one I personally need more of, but I think well worth picking up, especially if you have a hard to scent house. Next one we have here is Seashore, and this one I did 1 cube in our bathroom. Now this one had all kinds of stuff in it. It had maybe grapefruit, sea salt. There's something a little soapy here, possibly some kind of floral. Definitely sea salt. A sharp fruity scent, probably grapefruit or bergamot or something. There is a citrusiness. This is pleasant, and I think ginger was in here too. There's like a sharp, fresh ginger, not like the spice. This is lovely. Now on warm, very much like a good bathroom scent. A little soapy, kind of clean. Didn't get as strong as I thought it might because it seems very strong in the packaging. It was more like a 5 or 6, like a medium strength. So there was Seashore, and longevity, like less than 12 hours, weirdly enough. I thought it would go longer. It didn't, but pleasant, like one that I enjoy. Not one I need more of again, but one I enjoyed. So Seashore, I'll happily melt the rest of that in bathrooms and stuff like that. And if you're looking for a nice kind of sharp, summery, zingy scent, this is zingy, it's clean, it's a little bit different. I kind of enjoyed this one. So Seashore, I think a lot of folks will actually really love this one. Next one here, I really liked this. This one was close to being my repurchase one. The only reason I won't repurchase this personally is because I have Forever Flannel in my club. So the next one here is Coconut Flower. Now Coconut Flower, to my nose, reminds me a lot. Okay, it's got a lot of coconut. It has almost like a clean cotton or like a clean laundry type tone here as well. But not in like a laundry soap way, in like a clean cotton way, like a line dried cotton. It reminds me of several things. Mostly you get this kind of warm coconut note. And then on warm, this one does change a lot on warm, by the way. If you get this bar, it changes quite a bit on warm. This is one of the ones that changed the most. It gets much more nicely balanced. You get more like, this one on cold, you get more coconut and less of everything else. On warm, I would say you're getting equal parts coconut to this clean cotton type scent. It's very nice. There is a slight floral note in the base on warm, and that does come out more as the longer it goes. I did do 4 cubes of this one in the bedroom, 2 in each warmer. So I did use quite a bit of wax, but it went a full 2 days, so good bang for my buck there. So this one I quite liked. So if I did not have a similar one in my club already, I would repurchase this. If you missed Forever Flannel was a brick scent we had for the holidays a couple years ago. It was beautiful, it was underrated, and I know there are people that missed that one. Coconut Flower is going to be your next best thing. This is quite close. Very, very good. Performance was quite decent. I'm not sure if this would carry an open layout. It might. I think it would carry something like my open layout. If you have like an average size living space, I think it's going to be fine. Very large, maybe not. But for bedrooms, absolutely. I cannot hold on to anything today. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's soft, it's creamy. The other thing it reminded me a bit of is a little bit of like Blue Coconut Beach. Coconut Flower is not as sweet as Blue Coconut Beach, but similar type of coconut note. And I know people really like that coconut note. So if you're on the fence on coconut, I would say this is a good coconut scent. Coconut flowers. The next one we have here is Lux Vanilla. Now this one is a beautiful packaging. Wedgwood blue and white. I did 1 cube in the bathroom. This one has like cyclamen, I want to say jasmine, and like a soft vanilla powdery type scent to it. It is soft, powdery, delicate florals and a little bit of like a perfumery vanilla. This is very pretty. If you like the scent of baby powder, this is a little bit like that, but like fancy baby powder. This is not the baby powder you're gonna like, you know, dust on a child. This is ladylike baby powder. This is very nice. So 1 cube in the bathroom was so pretty. Like there's just something very pretty about this scent. It's not a scent I would typically gravitate to or, you know, reach for, but it's just very pretty. So yeah, there's something about this one. Another one for a wild card pick. If you want to pick a wild card scent, I think this is one well worth picking up. Lux Vanilla. Strength, it is going to be a smaller space scent again. There's quite a few of those this round. Quite a few smaller space scents. But it's a good one. Bedrooms, bathrooms, laundry rooms, small sitting rooms, little like offices, things like that. I think that would be really nice with Lux Vanilla. There are florals here. With that being said, they are not flowery florals. They're also not really perfumey florals. I would describe them as delicate, powdery florals without being abrasive. Sometimes powdery scents come across as kind of abrasive or soapy. This is not at all soapy. It's not at all abrasive. It's very delicate and very pretty. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, this is well worth picking up. There is nothing else like this. There's nothing comparable. This is kind of on its own. I haven't smelled anything from anywhere else that is anything like this. So that is Lux Vanilla. It's a little bit different. I am someone who does not care for jasmine at all. I don't get jasmine in here. I'm not sure if it's in the notes or not. I think it might be. I know cyclamen is in here. I'm not familiar with cyclamen as a floral note. But it's just a pretty soft, delicate floral powdery scent with a good dose of vanilla. So there's that one. Performance on this one, lighter intensity and light to average duration. It's not going to go more than a day, and not super strong either. I think you probably could get it to a medium if you used like double your wax in a bedroom. I think you could probably get it to a medium, but it's never going to be a boomer, I don't think. So that is Lux Vanilla. I might grab another bar of that. We'll see. Okay, the next ones here are 6 bars. The last 6 bars that I personally did not care for. Either they just weren't for me scent appeal wise, or they didn't perform for me. The first one here is Mums and Marigolds. This one had, I want to say, cedarwood and marigolds and a few other things in the notes. See, this one for me, I like it more on cold. On warm, this was pure like bathroom soaps from the 90s. When you think of those soaps you'd put in a dish behind your toilet in like the 90s, this is purely that. Yeah, just that and maybe like a hint of Raid. That's what this was. So yes, on warm, I remember walking into the bathroom. I did this in the bathroom, each of our bathrooms. So both bathrooms got it. I walked into the bathroom, I was like, did Trin spray Raid in here? Because I thought maybe he like used the spider spray in the bathroom. I was like, did he spray Raid? And then I was like, oh, that is the wax. That is not good. That is not good. So it smells like Raid to my nose, like the Spider Blaster spray. No, thank you. Yeah, it definitely smells like Raid to my nose. Raid or those like 1990 soap, but more Raid. Like there's like a chemically undertone here. I don't know. I'm not a fan at all. At all. This was just a no for me. I know there are people who really like this. Different noses smell things differently. But for me, this was a hard pass. Performance seemed okay. Like it was decently strong. Like I would say 7 out of 10 strength for a while. Went about 24 hours. So if you like this scent, the performance was decent. I think it could do an open layout. But for me, this was a hard pass. Absolutely not. I will be getting rid of the rest of this bar because it's not one I ever want to warm again. Next up here, we have Belle Enchanted Rose. This one, again, same thing. I did 1 cube in the laundry room, 1 cube in my daughter's bathroom, and this is a fruity rose scent. On cold, you get more of that passion fruit note. On warm, it is more just pure classic tea rose. And on warm, it's kind of just like your, classic powdery rose type scent. It was very strong. Performance was very, very good. I would say more than 24 hours duration and a strong intensity scent. This would easily do the largest of open layouts. I think it would throw well in any space at all. You have to like rose though, and I just personally don't. Especially this type of rose. I found it kind of took my breath away, kind of made it hard to breathe. It just didn't agree with me. If you like rose scents and you want a nice strong bar, this is well worth picking up. The performance is fabulous. And again, I can see why this one is appealing to some people. Whereas for Mums and Marigolds, I'm convinced I'm missing something. Like, I think my nose literally does not smell this the same way other people are smelling it. Whereas Belle, I can see the appeal for some people. It just isn't for me personally. So there is that one. Both of those scents are good performers though. The next one here, we have one that I'm sad that's in this category because I was really excited for it. This is Linger. This one had like praline and all kinds of like really kind of interesting scent notes that sounded kind of gourmand. But this is a perfume scent. Yeah, it's a kind of dark, rich, like ambery, musky, perfumey scent. Nothing more, nothing less. I did 2 cubes of this in the office. It was quite light. I would say like a 3 or 4 to 10 strength. It just was nothing to write home about. It was okay if you want like a musky, ambery scent. I didn't get any of the interesting notes that were kind of intriguing in this one. It was just kind of a perfumey scent. Nothing really interesting here. Performance was kind of lackluster. It just didn't do anything for me. So if you're reading the description of Linger and thinking, oh, that sounds really interesting, for me it wasn't interesting. I didn't get those notes. I just got kind of a generic, kind of cooler weather toned perfumey scent. And even at that, not a super awesome performing one. So Linger would be a skip in my books. Not one I would get again. And then in the open layout, I did red pear and pomegranate, full bar. Now this one I know I don't care for, I've had it before, but I thought maybe trying a fresh bar it would be better, and it was a little bit. This was kind of a tart, bright, fruity scent. I almost get like raspberry a little bit in this as well. It's like rhubarb, not rhubarb. Is there rhubarb? There might be rhubarb in here. Red pear and pomegranate. I want to say there's rhubarb too. Either way, it's a tart, fruity, kind of bright scent. There is something in here though, and I don't know what it is, that just kind of reads musty to my nose. So it did the full bar. It was fruity with a tone of must. Just not for me. Performance was a little under average. Longevity was average, 24 hours, no problem there. But the strength was maybe like a 4, 5 max out of 10 in my open layout. And typically for a fruity scent with these types of notes, pear and pomegranate, those tend to be very punchy notes that tend to do well in large spaces. This one really didn't meet its potential as far as I'm concerned. Pear and pomegranate should throw very well in my space. They usually do. And this one did not. It was kind of like just approaching medium. So I think there are better ones. I think there are better fruity scents for an open layout. If you love this scent, I know that there are a lot of folks who do love this scent. So no shade to them. I'm glad it's back so that you can get your hands on it and club it and all that stuff. But for me, this one's it's just a pass. It's not awful at all. It's fine. It's just not one I would get again. So red pear and pomegranate. Next up here, we have one that's going to tick people off. This one is Summer Holiday. Now I know that this one is well loved. This is a well loved scent that so many people love, and I do see why. This has a beautiful, sweet, tanning oil type base to it that I absolutely love. The issue is for me, on warm, that goes away within a few hours. And this one does last quite a while. It goes a good solid 24 hours. But after that first 3 or 4 hours, all I'm left with is this kind of flat floral note. It just does nothing for me. And again, if you like floral scents, then I strongly encourage you to pick up Summer Holiday, because if you like floral scents, this is one that I think you're going to love. Between that tanning oil note and the florals, I think you're going to be very happy. And again, the performance is pretty decent. It is not the strongest bar in the world. If you have a very large open layout or high ceilings, I would say stick to bedrooms. In my open layout, it does okay, approaching medium strength. But again, it just kind of has this kind of flat floral note to it. It's got like tiger lily and stuff like that in it. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I don't hate it. It's just not one that I personally love or would get again. And that is Summer Holiday. Now, that being said, I am extremely glad this returned because I know, and quite a few of my friends love this one. So I'm very glad that it's back so that they can club it or get more of it or whatever. I'm glad it's back for that reason because this one was very well loved and it was in the catalog for a very long time. So a lot of people just took it for granted that it would always be in the catalog. So I'm glad it came back reasonably quickly so people can get their hands on it again. Yes, this is a decent one. It's just not for me personally. So Summer Holiday. And again, performance on that, light medium to medium and better than average duration. Amber Road. This is one that I kind of had low expectations for and it wasn't bad. I actually quite like this on cold. Yeah. So this is like kind of like a woodsy type scent, very cedarwood based. I think cedarwood and spice were in the notes. Yeah, it's just woodsy. Now, my thing with this is I had 2 cubes in the office. The office is kind of like an average size bedroom. 2 cubes is usually plenty in there. I couldn't smell this. It was very, very, like, it was undetectable, even at peak. Like, I just couldn't smell this. It is on the light side. And I think when I got close to the warmers, I could smell something, but it smelled more just like dusty wood. Like, I'm thinking like a really, really old trunk with like specifically dust accumulated in it, like specifically dust. And I get that a little bit on cold now too. But on warm, I couldn't smell it really at all in the room until I like sat at my desk where the warmer is, and then I could kind of smell it a little bit, like when I'm like 2 feet away. I could smell it a little bit, but all I really got was like dusty wood. So I can't say I thought this was great. It wasn't like offensive, but it just wasn't great. Now I could see this having decent mix potential. This type of wood note I think would mix well with apple type scents and things like that. So I could see this being a reasonable mixer for like August, September. For some of your fruitier scents to kind of make more of a fall spin on them without being super autumny. I do think this would be a good autumn transition mixer scent, but overall I would not recommend it simply because even if you do like the scent, it is quite light. So Amber Road would not be one I would recommend to really anyone, unless you're looking for like a fall transition mixer scent for a smaller space. Amber Road. Now I'm going to recommend a couple wax bundles. So if you're a person who likes to melt seasonally and you only like to melt what's kind of appropriate for the season right now, I would recommend the following 6-pack. These are very summery bars that I think would be good for just this next couple months. Pistachio ice cream, very summery and also a bit gourmand. The only gourmand in this little 6-pack. The rest of the gourmands are more cool weather appropriate, I think. Seashore, quite pleasant, a little bit different and very, very kind of fun and zingy. Cactus Flower Lime, again, very summery, very clean, kind of cooling. Very nice. Summer Holiday, even though it's not for me personally, I do think this is a great summer bar that a lot of people will love. Fiji Flower, this is a great, bright, fruity floral. A lot of folks are going to love this one. Performs quite well as well. And Prickly Pear and Agave, a great open layout worthy bar that, again, very cooling, very summery, very fresh. And I think a lot of folks will love this one. I think this was very underrated when it was available. It's a fantastic performer and such a good scent. I've got 4 scents that are kind of wild cards that I think might get overlooked by some people that I think are well worth picking up if they sound interesting to you. The first one is Ace. This is that men's cologne type scent with the dark chocolate and the lavender and the tangerine. It's a little different. I think it's well worth trying. It's a good one. So if that sounds at all appealing to you, I'd say give it a shot. It's a decent one. Grape Vine, I think is going to get overlooked because people don't tend to like grape scents for whatever reason. I think it's worth picking up, especially if you have an open layout. This is a very strong one and better than you might expect based on the fact that it's a grape scent. So Grape Vine, well worth picking up. Tahitian Black Orchid with the caveat that only if you're going to melt it in small spaces and use more wax than usual. This is a beautiful scent that, again, I think will get overlooked. But definitely worth picking up if you want to melt it in a smaller space. And Lux Vanilla. This one I know there is a huge fan base of. so people might not overlook it. But I do think this is one that's worth picking up because there really is nothing to compare it to. It's a little bit different than anything else, and it is very pleasant. So that is Lux Vanilla. And again, the ones I'm personally clubbing and really loved are Pistachio Ice Cream, Rosemary Mint, well worth picking up. Central Park Pralines, very open layout worthy. Marshmallow Mint, gorgeous year round. Cranberry Pumpkin Spice for the fall people. And Apple and Oats, great bakery, more cold weather appropriate. And again, that one is very, very strong too. All right, finally, people always ask my opinions on the strongest ones or the best ones for an open layout or a larger space. And if you're trying to scent a larger space or a hard to scent space, I would go with Belle Enchanted Rose, as long as you like rose. Mums and Marigolds, if you like that scent. Personally, this was not for me at all, but I do think it has the strength for an open layout. Prickly Pear and Agave, highly recommend. Fiji Flower, also highly recommend. Central Park Pralines, if you like a nice heavy bakery. Maybe not for this time of year, but put it aside for fall. Apple and Oats, same thing, extremely strong, great performer. Maybe a bit better for cooler weather. Grape Vine, I think this could go both ways. This could be a nice scent for now. It could also be a great fall or a winter scent because it is on the heavier side, especially once those base notes start to develop, but this is among the strongest of the bunch. Best performer of the bunch, so Grapevine. And then two honorable mentions are Ace. I think this one could do an open layout if you used enough wax. And Cranberry Pumpkin Spice, I think, can do an open layout quite nicely, but not necessarily for a long time. So that is performance in a nutshell and my warm opinions on the Bring Back My Bar collection. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below as well. What have you warmed? How did it do in your house? Because everyone's house is different, everyone's climate, humidity levels, all of that stuff differs. So let us know in the comments below how these do in your spaces as well. Other than that, hope you are having a great month. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.